Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host, Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news, shall we? First of all, I never considered trying to do this. But, there's a challenge in Breath of the Wild, as you could imagine, involving the paraglider and to see how far you can go. And I went as far as I could possibly go. It never occurred to me to try other things to make myself go farther. Without trying to spoil anything, one person who I think is Japanese, or at least is playing on the Japanese version of Breath of the Wild, has figured out a way to continuously sail for 20 minutes. That does not sound possible, does it? But when you watch the video, and I unfortunately did, I spoiled myself, when you watch the video, you're like, oh my gosh, why did I never think of that? Maybe many of you have. Don't spoil it for anybody by telling exactly how it works, but if you had already figured it out and you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments down below, without spoiling exactly the technique. But I'm just curious if any of you have figured it out, so just write something like, yeah, I figured it out already, or whatever. But yeah, I haven't utilized this technique myself yet because part of me feels like it's kind of cheating, even though the game totally allows for it, even though everything about it is in-game, built-in and normal. I don't know, I haven't utilized it. Plus, you have to be very equipped on two different items, let's say, and I'm terrible at making either of those fully stocked in my inventory, so. Anyways, very cool idea. If you want to watch that video and spoil it for yourself, let me know. You can watch it, there's a link down below, but also I'm curious in the comments, let me know if you'd already figured it out yourself. Our next story is about the Breath of the Wild development, early development, and a whole lot of facts that they never really talked about. Really interesting things like how they had this in-house message board where anybody could propose an idea and write about it on this message board, and then everybody else had this finite set of rupees, and they would fund that idea by doling out some rupees to maybe 20 rupees for this idea, 5 rupees for this other idea, and so when a thing gained enough rupees, it would be taken into consideration and then tested out and stuff. A really cool idea. I'm so glad to hear that the Zelda development team really tried very hard this time to break those conventions and figure out how to do their own thing. They also talked about how you might have heard about that 2D Breath of the Wild prototype utilizing graphics from the original Legend of Zelda. And so they talked about how it was a very small team that created that, and really the whole point of that is over the course of a year, they're just trying to figure out what this game would be. The only thing they knew going into development was that it was going to take place in a huge field or a huge world. But then they tried to figure out how to make use of that huge world and what kinds of new ideas they could put in it and how those different ideas would play off of each other, to create this physics engine and all. Anyways, it's very interesting if you're into that like I am, and I'm sure many of you are. There's a link down there for you. Our next story is about a very, very nice orchestrated version of music from Ocarina of Time, and yes, I have gone on record many times as saying I kind of don't like the idea of fans creating things like orchestral albums and then selling them. I'm of the opinion that, well, I mean, first of all, that's, despite what you might think, not at all legal. When you create a cover version of a song, you have to pay fees to the copyright holder, and I'm pretty sure that did not occur in this instance, or really in any instance regarding video game music, because people simply don't know that is a law or whatever. But anyways, it is really good. So I'm gonna change my tune for once. That pun is intended, and I'm gonna say, take a listen to this. You probably will like it, you probably will want to buy it, and it kind of deserves it, even if it's not technically legal, whatever, it's really good. There is, of course, a link down there for you. Hey guys, what am I doing? I'm reintroducing the beginning, even though it's still the same video. Well, I'm a little out of it today, I guess. Anyways, our next story is about the fact that there is this very interesting, well, is it interesting to anybody except me? There's this YouTube series called Honest Game Trailers. I forgot for a second what it was called. And basically the idea is to kind of poke fun at a game by ripping apart some of its flaws. And this one, of course, is about Breath of the Wild, which you might say doesn't really have any flaws. Well, sometimes they invent flaws. So sometimes I get a little annoyed at these videos. I'm like, well, that's not the point. The point is actually this. Ugh. So I have actually, totally honestly, not watched the video yet, but I thought some of you would like to watch it, and I know I will eventually watch it. I might watch it after I finish recording. So I'm not going to give my opinion on it, except to state that I usually, 75% of the time, find it very enjoyable. 25% of the time, I'm like, okay, you're stretching there. But anyways, you let me know what you think about it in the comments below. There's, of course, a link in the description. Yes, I know the band 21 Pilots is very popular, and I'm sure I would even like them. I've only seen them once on, like, Saturday Night Live or something. I can't remember where it was, and I enjoyed it to a degree. But I don't know much about them at all. I couldn't name any of their songs or anything, so forgive me. But I still, despite not knowing really who they are or anything about them, I still think it's really cool that one of them is Instagramming pictures of himself playing the Switch and Zelda. It's just cool to me when celebrities who are really well known, even if I don't know who the heck they are into Nintendo. So anyways, if you want to take a look at that, there's a link down there for you. And our final story for the day is about the fact that almost 8,000 more people have been banned from Pokemon online activity on Pokemon Sun and Moon because of altered save file data. You'd think that they would have heard that people were getting banned because of this and then wouldn't be doing it after that fact, but they have, so now they're banned from online stuff. But you live and you learn, or apparently you don't learn. Anyways, if you want to read more about that story, there's a link down there for you. That is it for this episode of Nintendo News. You know, there isn't a whole heck of a lot of interesting news coming out lately. Usually I record like 3 or 4 videos in one session and then spread those up throughout the week. This time I've recorded 2 in this session, so hopefully more news comes along sooner rather than later, and then I will have more material to talk about, but possibly not, so there might be a bit of a gap. I'm just preparing you for the fact that there might be a little bit of a gap. But, you know, this stuff comes in, you know, there's a phrase, like a colloquialism, like, it never rains but it pours or whatever, meaning, like, sometimes there's absolutely nothing, and other times there's a huge deluge of news. So, see you guys tomorrow for more news. Bye, guys.